welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor and today we'll be reacting to Conan Gray's new album, Found Heaven. But before we hop in the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you love all things music, particularly Conan Gray. So I have pretty much reacted to all the singles off this album. I think I have like 4 or 5 reactions and I'll link them somewhere up here in the description box down below. So that leaves us with about, I think I counted and there were 8 songs that we will be reacting to today. And it looks like it's a pretty short album for the most part. It's only 13 songs, and does it say how long it is lengthwise? I don't see. But yeah, so most of the songs look to be just around 2.5-ish minutes. So gonna be a quick go through. And in terms of songs I'm most excited to hear, I have to assume Bourgeoisies? Bourgeoisies? I think that's the plural of it. I'm just curious to see what the heck that's about because the title just has me intrigued. I know what bourgeoisie is, but yeah. So I guess without further ado, let's hop into track 1, the title track, Found Heaven. This was not where I thought things were going. I'm just gonna say that was just like a nasty guitar in the background, bass, I think. Woo! Let's go into the intro, because if you couldn't tell, it said, "No God above us, can we represent this sin? No soul is innocent, everybody wants to love." Okay. I have thoughts as to where this is going with this religious imagery here. But let's get into verse 1 because it says, "You walk alone in the darkest night. You'll never sleep until you're satisfied. You need love. You need one. You need him. You'll never get your mama's wedding ring. Father always said you ruined everything." This is probably a throwback to Family Line. And then it says, "But you prayed, begged and prayed, heart unchanged." And then we're hopping into the chorus. So I'm seeing a through line of about maybe, my assumption is that this is about his family not accepting his sexuality, specifically when it says you'll never get your mama's wedding ring. And this is also what Genius says here. That's what my thoughts were. It's like, well, I begged and I prayed and I bought into this. And yeah, I'm curious to see where the chorus takes us. Okay, so I definitely think this is about exploring his sexuality and to not let religious zealotism tell him how to feel and how to be. It says, "Don't be scared, child. Don't be scared, little child. You're no demon." And in the background, it says, "You're no demon. You'll be fine tonight. There's a God in the sky, but don't believe him." Like, don't listen to all the things about you that they tell you should be and you shouldn't be. And it says, "Don't be scared, little child, of that feeling. You're in love. You found heaven." Don't be scared of your feelings or your sexuality in this sense. I love that this is how we start the album. And I also love that this song is out there for maybe people who are in this situation. Well, that was a bit of a banger to start us out with. And in verse 2, he said, "Your heart is breaking as you leave that door. You never meant to start this holy war." Another throwback to that religious imagery. "But you're trapped. Pack your bags. Don't look back." Obviously, this is a throwback to Family Line. I feel like a lot of that explored in Family Line. And then we see at the end when we listen to Winner, where he says, pack my bags at 14, didn't plan on leaving." So I see these connections here about maybe exploring those family dynamics more. I'm glad that the people of today have this little song. I mean, I guess when I was younger, I had "Girls Like Girls" by Haley Kiyoko. But up next on the track list is Never Ending Song, which I've reacted to. It was the first Conan Gray reaction on this YouTube channel, so it'll be linked somewhere up there. Then we're moving into Fainted Love. Well, interesting. I definitely hear we've kind of heard that 80s throwback vibe in the first track on the album that we started listening to today, but I definitely really hear it on this one. So we have a lot of like conversational moments happening so far. The stoplights, a familiar drive through another ghost town on a Saturday night, alone, so you're losing your mind tonight. And I said, "Calm down, I'll be there by the 9." Okay. Oh, be there, I guess, be there at 9. Don't you get yourself down, not the end of your life. Don't mean that you're marrying me tonight. He's like, calm down. I guess we're going on like a first date. We're getting together. Pre-chorus said, and you said, you got it. We're nothing. I'm the worst if you want it. Okay, I was like, we're nothing? He's like, don't worry, we're not getting married tonight. And they're like, good, because this ain't happening. This is nothing. Like, this is just something. Just a little bit of When your heart aches and it's dead in the night, don't you worry for me, it's cool. It's enough to survive. Don't you worry, I want your fainted love. Now, what does he mean by fainted love here? I guess it's really just saying he's willing to accept any sort of small love connection, no matter how faint or how small it is. Basically, the other person in this scenario is only offering them a very casual, probably secretive relationship from what I can see, since it says, you got it, we're nothing. They're worried about when he's going to be there. So I'm curious to see if that continues on. But so far, great Sonics. Love that. We ended on a fade out for that. I'm going to say that these verses and that bridge were given just a lot of tea, a lot of context. Verse 2, it said, dark room, not a whispering word. Guess you'll take all the pain that you think you deserve. Won't sleep because it's easy to hurt tonight. I don't know if he's talking about himself or the other person when he says, guess you take all the pain that you think you deserve. Oh. Apparently it said this could be a reference to the perks of being a wallflower. I don't know. But someone's taking the pain. They're taking the pain of this situation because they think that's what they deserve. And then in the bridge, it says, white lies from the passenger seat. Say you'll love me for life. Say you'll never leave. Kiss me till I almost believe tonight. So it's interesting because in the pre-chorus, they keep saying, you got it, we're nothing. I'm the worst if you want it. Like, you shouldn't be with me. This is nothing. Like, ignore that. But then in the bridge, it says, they're saying that they'll love him for life. So it's like, yeah, it's like, don't get too attached, but also like, it's a little gaslighty in that situation. Very interesting. I'm probably going to have to go back and listen to this one again. But after this track is Lonely Dancers, which we've also reacted to. Then we move into Alley Rose, another one. That's the last single that we got from this album. Then track 6, the next one we're listening to, which is just over 2 minutes. So I'm curious. It says The Final Fight. So I wonder if this is the deadpan, like this is the last straw in the relationship, and then after this, if we're going to flip to some other topics explored. So verse 1 is pretty much just kind of a setup for, I feel like the chorus has the most. But in verse 1, he says, I didn't fight the feeling running through my eyes. I didn't want you to see it. I believed your lies. So again, we're talking back to all the lies that they said that we particularly explored in the last track that we listened to, which was Fainted Love. Tried to bite back, but I couldn't. I just stood and cried for the lost time, for the hurt, and for the love that died. So this is obviously, I feel like, the night that things ended. Love that died. And he's like, I tried to bite back. Like, I tried to hold in what I had to say. It's like I tried to hold in the anger, but like it just came out. And then the chorus. But all I wanted was the final fight, and all I needed was to make it right. He's like, listen, all I wanted was like the closure, the moment to like let it all out and to like hash that with you. And it's like, and all I needed was to make it right. Tonight, there's nothing left to do but finally tell you what you put me through. He is like, listen, if there's nothing left of this relationship, I'm going to finally air it all out. Like, this is the shit that you put me through, and you're going to know it before you leave. You don't get out of this so easily. Yeah. I love kind of exploring the topic of closure in a new light. So I think we hear I think from what I'm getting from this final chorus here, well, don't you know there's nothing left to do? It's like they came back looking for closure, and he's like, no, this is over. Especially with verse 2, it said, made a whole new life. I got a bit of distance, saw the New Year lights, and I came right back after growing. He's like, there's been some time, there's been some separation. I've been out here working on myself, and it says, yet you're still the same. Though it's me who may be broken, it was you to blame. It's like, listen, I am carrying all the baggage from the relationship, and you are the reason why. And in the chorus, it's like, and I'm going to tell you how you broke me. It's like, you don't get the closure. You don't get the closure of us getting fixed. You get the closure of me telling you how you messed up and how you're not going to get back what you lost, because you don't know what you have until you lose it. But then we're moving to a song that sounds like it's going to be sad, and it's called Miss You. Watch this be the boppiest of bops with the saddest of lyrics, though, right? Oh my goodness. Well, this is not where I thought it was going. Okay. It says, it opens with, is it wrong to now decide? And I guess we have gleaned from all of this information that, is it now wrong to decide that I miss you? Okay, verse 1, now you know I'm a wicked man. I bit the hand that was feeding me. It snapped back like a rubber band. The fear of love is my tendency. So I assume it's like, you know what, I fought it back. Or like, I hurt the person who was feeding me all the love. It said the fear of love is my tendency. Then we have a pre-chorus, but I feel it, believe it. I never meant to break your heart, but I lost it like a promise and left you dancing in the dark. Oh, and this says it's a callback to the song Movies. It's been a minute since I listened to Super Break. So yeah, it could be a callback to Movies where it says, in my head, we're dancing in the dark. And then it says, chorus, I don't know why I'll be gone because you love me. I don't know why. Is it wrong to now decide? I miss you is the post-chorus. So it's the whole concept of like, oh, I messed up and now is it too late to like fix this? Is it too, like, it's interesting to go from Final Fight, like, nah, you don't get me back, to like, oh, but no, I actually kind of might miss you. So, the sonics on this one are interesting. I have to point out that Max Martin's got his hands on this album. And I mean, I saw some of the same producers that were on Ariana's new album, which I did react to on this album, you know, particularly Max. And I'm like, okay. I see it, I hear it. I'm kind of enjoying it. Actually, this throwback to the 80s and stuff like here, 80s synth pop, is throwing me sometime, but also I don't not like it. It's something that's like, oh, this is interesting, but I also need to go back and listen to you sometimes. Let's continue. I find it interesting in verse 2 that he says, didn't think you would understand after all that I put you through. From my search for the promised land, I came back only wanting you. He calls back again to that first track, Found Heaven. And in Found Heaven, that's an exploration of like the fear of his own sexuality and the treatment of him being considered bad from his parents. And he's kind of equating the love that he found, the love of his partner, or the person, to heaven. And it says, in this one, from my search for the promised land. So it could be that this relationship fell apart because he was still searching for his own acceptance of his sexuality, if that is what heaven is to him. I don't know how I feel about this one. We're halfway through the album, and I definitely think Found Heaven and Lonely Dancers is probably Alley Rose. Probably the best so far for me, or my top on the album. Let's get into the second half, though. The song that I'm most curious about, which is Bourgeoisies, I think that's it. Why does it say it? In my head, I'm like Bourgeoisies, which is completely wrong. And I know someone's going to say in the comments, like, girl, what you think about that? But that's the next track. Says the TV's on, the woman's blonde, she talks and talks of how of how the rich are wrong. They cheat on wives, never pay the price. I'm a low class guy. That sounds pretty nice. So, and then he says in the chorus, what he pretty much just, I want to be with the bourgeoisies is, yeah. Okay. That's that. I should probably give you the definition of bourgeoisie. It says in Genius here, of or characteristic of the middle class, typically with reference to its perceived materialistic values or conventional attitudes. It's been, well, that's from the Urban Dictionary. It's essentially an upper middle class, you know, higher paid, more affluent society. It's not quite, you know, let's see, it's not quite royalty, it's not quite nobleman status, but it's the people who fall in that area. It came about in like the Middle Ages, kind of. I'm trying to think about that. Think of like the feudal system, which none of you is going to get. Giving y'all history lessons here. But it's basically like, I know people are saying this is wrong, but I also kind of want to be a part of the upper class. Like, I kind of want that money. I kind of want to be where the rich people be at. I don't know how I feel about this one. I kind of need to listen to more to see what else is going on. Okay. Let's see verse 2 here. The men at war, they draft the poor. No time to mourn, I'm on the dance floor. Mom and dad got my back, but I don't need that. I need a Maserati. They're like, yeah, it's like all of these niceties that are going on. Yeah, I don't need that. I just need money. Like, I don't know if this is trying to be sarcastic or what. I get the lyrical content. I just think sonically I'm like not connecting as much with this song. But you know what? She's good. She's sweet. Is she gonna rank last? Most likely, but we'll see. The next song we're listening to is Forever With Me. And this one is, I think, next to Winter, I think it's the longest song on the album. So let's see what we get from it. Why is this gonna be like my best, like, favorite song on the album and it's a piano ballad? Well, in this lifetime we did it wrong, but I guess that you could argue we survived, and after all this time I wonder why you're still with me. Well, at least in all my memories, because this is a throwback to Memories. Yeah, because he says in Memories said, I wish that you would stay in my memories, and in this song he says, and after all this time I wonder why you're still with me. Well, at least still in my memories. Cool. And then we immediately go into the choruses. I ain't sorry. I wouldn't change a thing, but it'll take a lifetime to get better. I ain't sorry. I know I should probably be. I think I'm gonna love you. You're forever with me. So it's like, I ain't sorry that we broke up. Like, I wouldn't change a thing about our relationship and how it ended and all that stuff. Or it's like, I ain't sorry that I still love you. Could go both ways, to be fair. But so far, loving it. Loving it so far. You're the reason I learned to love. Also the reason that I cry. Still I think of all the bloodshed. Somehow bittersweet. I'm even smiling now. As your sighs, and there's a place to beg. But who am I to blame? I broke your heart the same. Listen, if the next two songs don't go absolutely like feral, I think this one is gonna be at the tippity top. Oh my goodness. We got so much information. So in verse 2 it says, you are the reason I learned to love and also the reason that I cry. It's like the first love, but also the love that you're going to be mourning. Still, I think of all the bloodshed, somehow bittersweet. I'm even smiling now as I sing. So even thinking back on the bad times, the battles within our relationship, it's still bittersweet. There's still some happiness there, and I'm kind of smiling, reminiscing on everything that went down. And then the bridge. Lonely nights, lonely dancers. Anger does replace the pain, but who am I to blame? I broke your heart the same. So talking back in the final fight, I think it says, you are the one to blame, and then he's coming back around, and we've explored in this that maybe I'm also contributing to the downfall of our relationship. Like maybe some of my issues crept in and, you know, did something. And then he does add in the final chorus, he says, I ain't sorry, I know I should probably be. So I think it's a whole I'm not sorry for the way things went down, because I wouldn't give up like the relationship and the memories that we created together for anything. And then of course it ends directly with you're forever with me, like the memory of you was forever ingrained in me. Love it. Love it. But then we have 2 short songs, because after that are Killing Me and Winter to close it out. I love how Winter is the final track, because Winter definitely is exploring a relationship with a parent, and then Found Heaven in the beginning is also exploring that relationship with the parent, except Found Heaven is kind of like, I found my way through, versus Winter, I'm like, well, congratulations, you've managed to come back in and ruin it again. But anyways, the next track we're listening to is Eye of the Night. Interesting. So we immediately open with the chorus, because you're here, you're watching me, I'm walking to your corner, I see you in the street. You're here, you're haunting me, the eye of the night. I'm not quite sure who this Eye of the Night is. Genius doesn't have any like annotations for me to like explore here. But maybe it's just like at night, maybe there's a person that he's searching for. Maybe it's just he enjoys being out at the nighttime. And then verse 1 it says, I always feel like I am not alone while I'm walking down these empty roads. I always feel like I am not alone. I hear a voice that tells me where to go. It's like, well, maybe it could also just be an exploring of his intuition of like, I know where to go. Yeah. Not much to say here. Not much to say here. I will say when I saw Eye of the Night, since this is very much like an 80s inspired album sonically, I was like, are we going to get a little Eye of the Tiger action? I don't really necessarily hear it, but I guess we can continue on. We got some more information in that verse too. It says, I grab the keys, I scramble to the floor, and I hear your heartbeat bleeding through the floor. The memories that I cannot ignore. So again, we're having that callback to memories, which we just listened to. We kind of heard in Forever With Me, it's like the memory of you kind of always will be with me. Then it says, fight for my life inside a silent war. So the fight for my life and inside a silent war could be a callback to Found Heaven, where he talks about, I didn't mean to start this holy war, and the fight for my life inside a silent war could be something about, you know, his fight with the memories of this person, his fight with his inner turmoil, and all that information. It's like the person who's haunting him in the middle of the night is the memory of this. It could be the memory of this person, which is most likely it. It says you're watching me, and it also could just be the inner turmoil or the like intrusive thoughts that, you know, haunt him in the middle of the night. Then the last song we're going to be rocking to today is called Boys and Girls, and it's another short song, so let's continue. Why am I getting like bisexual vibes from this? Cherry hair, so super Bowie. I've been getting so Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie vibes from the aesthetics of this album. Okay. Obviously we're referencing David Bowie. Who's the cherry hair? Who is it? I have thoughts. Kiss me but swears that she don't know me. You wouldn't care if I fell over and died. Sigh, I'm not the... I love how he just goes, sigh, in a song. Sigh. I'm not the only one. So it's talking about, it's like, oh, she kisses me, but she's like, I don't know you. And then it says, he wants you, you don't even see me, she wants you, there's no point competing. Ah, yeah. Funny. And then really the chorus is just simple. It's like, boys and girls, they want you. I don't know, I'm getting some bisexual anthems here. I don't know. He's never come out and stated his sexuality, but, yeah. As someone who's bisexual, that's how I interpret this. It's just kind of fun. I just kind of like that. Cute. This one's just kind of fun. It looks like he's talking about a person that he wants that's just beloved by everyone else. And in verse 2 it says, you got a face that's technologic. Nobody cares that you're psychotic. I mean. Okay. Fathers and daughters, all their pants are dropping. I'm not being ironic. Okay. Interesting choices in the lyrics. This is such a cheeky little song. And it's like, and then he switches in the pre-chorus, says, I want ya, instead of he wants you or she wants ya. And it just ends out, she says, I don't know much about love, but come find me in the crowd of all the boys and girls. Oh, man. It's like all the boys and girls. Okay. Things were coming to mind. But that's the last song we're reacting to today. So I guess without further ado, let's move into my ranking. So it's probably been a few days since I first listened to this album. So here's my preliminary, final, tentative, final ranking. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what my final ranking is going to look like from this moment here. Obviously, you can see on the screen. But we've had the lead singles for so long right now. I mean, it's kind of hard to, like, not take into account that I've been able to listen to them for so long. But of the new stuff, Found Heaven and Forever With Me, absolute favorites. Bourgeoisies, I don't know where you're going to end up, probably at the bottom. And then the other one that's like kind of probably going to end up near the bottom, maybe Boys and Girls or Eye of the Night. Those are ones that I have to sit with a little bit longer. So who knows, maybe my ranking will look all sorts of crazy over here. But I guess let me know what your favorite song on the album was. How did you think about the album? And what would you like me to react to next in the comments down below?